Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Say it with me. Hump Day, which means it's Wednesday. Another episode of True Abutment is being released. Now, on this episode, we're going to highlight 360 Digilab. 360 Digilab is owned by a couple of partners, Josh and Phil. Today, we're going to chat with Josh Wolves. Now, this lab has not been around for very long, just 5 years, opened in 2018. But with over 40 employees and so many years of combined experience and know-how, you know that they're going to get the job done right. I'm Jeff Kraft, and InTRUview from Monroe, Michigan. It starts right now. Josh, I appreciate you sitting down with me and chatting with me about how this business got started, because you came into an industry where you didn't know anything about the industry. And now, in 2018, well, 5 years ago now you're one of the leaders in the area and a go-to person, building a team of over 40. I mean, that's pretty impressive. You've got to be pretty impressed with yourself.
So it all started because I got into dental.
Yeah.
I started working for Henry Schein,
yeah,
where I sold technology. And I would see the doctors wanted the InTRUview scanners. It was the new greatest technology, and all the doctors wanted to talk about it. And frankly, it was fun to sell. It was new, it was interesting, it was exciting. And I would oftentimes sell scanners, and I would call the doctor up a month later and I'd be like, hey, how's it going with the scanner? And they'd be like, oh, well, my lab says it doesn't work. And I was like, well, that's nonsense. I know it works. And I would maybe connect them with another lab, or I'd go in and I'd hold the lab's hand and I'd show them how to use it. But it was always a fight to sell the scanners because the labs didn't want to support them because they were afraid of them. And that's what got me interested. I saw the opportunity. I saw that, intraoral scanning it's the future. At the time, it was about 12 to 15% of the market, and I believe that in the next 5 to 7 years, it's going to be 75% of the market, and all those doctors are going to need to go somewhere. So that's why my partner Phil and I were talking, and we decided that if there's going to be a lot of opportunity, so we bought a dental lab. Here we are. Now,
Phil, I know he couldn't be here today. How'd that relationship start? How'd you guys know each other prior?
We actually worked together at Henry Schein.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I was selling technology, and he came in and he was selling technology at the same time, and he had come from ophthalmology and he went back to ophthalmology, and we were still friends and we were talking about it, and he's like, yeah, one of these labs is going to figure it out one of these days. So that was what got us started.
So the business side, I mean, starting a business, no matter what industry it is, it's scary. It's scary for everybody.
Yeah.
But you guys jumped in. And did you have a background in business, starting a business? How did you do that? How did you find your way?
No, not really. I guess we just wanted to, try something different and see if we could make it work.
Took a chance.
Yeah.
So how is your lab broken up, the different divisions, the amount of people? Walk me through your organization and the different departments you have.
So we basically have our production side and then our design and intake side. So production consists of pouring a model, or finishing and stain and glaze, or even the milling side where we're milling and printing 3D models. Right now that's all across the street in our other building, and that probably consists of about 20 people over there, 20, 25 people. And then we've got our design side, or our technology side, and we've got design teams that are designing crown and bridge, implants, surgical guides, and then we've got check-in, admin, HR type stuff over here on this side, which is kind of the other side. And then
okay.
My business partner and I handle a lot of the sales and relationship stuff for right now.
Growing for many labs, in 10 years, they don't get to 10 employees. You're over 40. How did you grow that fast in such a short amount of time?
Trying to be thought leaders and build strategic partners. And we built strategic partners with our scanner companies. You know, I knew them from when I worked at Henry Schein, so I would go to my scanner reps and I'd say, hey, you're running into this problem? I know they are, because I ran into it. And I would tell them, hey, if you've got a doctor that's looking at the scanner and you know it's good and we know it's good, I can help you make that work. And we would support them, and then we would support our cone beam companies. Then we would say, hey, you want to try to get more surgical guides? We do surgical guides. You've got doctors that want to buy a cone beam. Let's show them how to use it. Because as a salesperson, one of our big faults was that we would sell something and then we move on to the next sale, and we weren't there to hold the hands of the person that bought it. They need somebody to support that after they buy, and we're in a perfect position right for that. I mean, we keep supporting the scanners and they keep sending their crowns to us, and it's kind of a win-win.
Partnerships are everything. So how did that partnership with True Abutment come about?
So when we originally bought the lab, we brought on a technician from another lab. He was their digital guy. He came on here and he helped us essentially figure out the digital technology workflows, and he knew True Abutment. He introduced us, and that's where everything came from.
Maintaining a relationship in this industry can be difficult. There's a lot of competition. How do you, one, create the relationship? You've built relationships over the years, but maintaining those relationships, why do these doctors continue to trust you?
Because we just try to do the right thing. I mean, we treat people like we want to be treated. If we make a mistake, we own it. I mean, lab industry's hard. We make mistakes all the time. We do everything we can to make it right. We treat our doctors like we believe they want to be treated, and the industry seems to be doing more and more outsourcing, and we are fighting that, and we are trying to build local design teams, whereas most of the other labs are starting to send out, and because we believe that communication and control is the key to building a successful dental lab.
You know, we hear people talking, we see people walking around. I mean, it's a busy lab. What's the culture like here at the office?
It's great.
Yeah?
I think most people love to be here every day.
You guys, anybody here, is Josh okay to work with? It's all right. It's okay.
It's better when he's not here.
It's better when he's not here.
But Phil, on the other hand, he's terrible.
Well, I mean, it seems like you guys, you do have fun, but you do already seem to run this as a corporate structure. Do you feel the same way?
Kind of. I mean, I don't believe that's a bad thing.
Not at all.
It's only bad when profit takes front and center, and that's all that matters. Obviously, a business has to be profitable. You can't run a business without being profitable. But I believe we can create a healthy place to work with a good quality product for a reasonable price by incorporating technology and becoming efficient. I don't think that it requires us to work harder per se. I think it requires us to work smarter. And so you need that corporate mentality to invest in equipment and technology and departmentalize. You have to be able to do those things, but like I said, it's only a bad thing if profit becomes the only motive.
So over the next 5 years, where do you see the industry? Because, I mean, I could say 10 years, but so much happens in just 5 years. Where do you see the industry, and where do you see your company within the industry growing?
Dental offices are still going to need dental labs, there's no doubt about it. And it's becoming much more difficult for the little boutique dental lab to operate. I mean, they've got to invest in technology. A lot of them have owned their labs for, they might have 5 or 10 people and they've owned their labs for 30 years. And the thought of buying the technology and spending a lot of money on it is intimidating to them, and heaven forbid they have to figure out how to use it too. And I think that we're going to see a lot more of these smaller dental labs get squeezed out of the market. So my goal is to grow and have an organization that's big enough that we can dedicate people to researching the technology, figuring out the integration, figuring out the different equipment and the materials that are out there, and then we can support our local lab with that.
Pretend you like each other. Right. Okay, smile on 3, 3, 2, 1. All right. Over to you.
I wanted to give this to Caleb because Caleb is actually he's OG. He's been here for a while, and he's crushed it every step of the way. And I appreciate everything, Caleb.
Thank you, Josh. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Josh, appreciate chatting with you. It was great chatting with you, hearing the story, how it got started, the chances that you took. That takes a lot of guts, but you know, you've shown that it can actually be done.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate
Thanks for coming
it.
out.
See you later. Have a good one. All right, well, there you go. Monroe, Michigan. Check the box. Until next time, see ya.
My name's Vicki Bunkelman, and I've been here 42 years. And I've started when we did it traditionally, and now we're doing design digitally. And basically what I do is I'm a mentor, and I train all the new designers coming in. I go over their cases and show them how to do better. And I also go over all the implants. I review the implants. And wherever they need me here, I'm there. So when they first started, they didn't know anything about the lab. They were more of a salesperson, so over the years they have really worked and learned a lot about implants and cases, and they're wonderful to work with, and they just keep on growing, and it's amazing how much we've grown since they've taken over. We range in age all the way from, I think our youngest designer is 20, and I think our oldest one is around 45. And yesterday I actually played a game with them all. I gave them a case to design, and it was all the same case, and then I went over all the details that they're supposed to do, like the occlusion and the contacts and the design and everything, and then we had a contest, and whoever won I chose, which I didn't know who was going to win, you know, whose name it was, and the winner got a $25 gift card yesterday. So we have a lot of fun here, and I think they keep on learning, which is great. And I never thought that you could bring somebody off the street and teach them how to design a crown with anatomy and everything, but they're doing really well.